Welcome to World Pulse Updates. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. On January 20th, 2026, the Indian Ocean's strategic waters became the epicenter of a diplomatic storm, as the world's attention turned to a remote but vital chain of islands. The Indian Ocean, long considered a crossroads of global trade and military power, suddenly found itself at the center of a controversy that would ripple across continents. For decades, these waters have been a silent witness to the ambitions of superpowers, their importance growing with every passing year as new shipping lanes, energy routes, and military interests converged. In a move that stunned both allies and adversaries, President Donald Trump reversed his stance on the Diego Garcia military base agreement, a decision that sent shockwaves through diplomatic circles. Just months earlier, Trump had publicly supported the arrangement, hailing it as a triumph of American diplomacy and a guarantee of Western security in a volatile region. But now, with a single statement, he upended years of careful negotiation and cast doubt on the future of one of the world's most important military outposts. Diego Garcia, a remote atoll in the heart of the Indian Ocean, has long been a linchpin of Western military strategy. Its airstrips and naval facilities have played a crucial role in operations from the Middle East to the Pacific, making it a prized asset for both the United States and the United Kingdom. Now, this tiny island is at the center of a growing feud between two of the world's closest allies, threatening to unravel decades of cooperation. The heart of the dispute lies in Trump's condemnation of the UK's decision to transfer sovereignty of Diego Garcia to Mauritius, a move intended to resolve a long-standing colonial dispute. Trump's sharp rebuke has not only shaken the foundations of the US-UK alliance, but also raised urgent questions about the future of global security arrangements. Allies now wonder whether American commitments can be trusted, while adversaries sense an opportunity to exploit the rift. The agreement, once endorsed by Trump himself, was seen as a pragmatic solution to a complex colonial legacy. It aimed to secure the military base's future while addressing the demands of Mauritius for the return of its territory. For years, the deal was hailed as a rare example of diplomacy overcoming history's shadows, ensuring that Diego Garcia would remain a cornerstone of Western defense in the Indian Ocean. Now, with Trump's sudden reversal and increasingly confrontational rhetoric, the future of the base hangs in the balance. Military planners and diplomats alike are scrambling to reassess American commitments, fearing that the loss of Diego Garcia could tip the regional balance of power. The uncertainty has sent ripples through NATO and other alliances, as leaders question whether the United States will continue to honor its security guarantees. But the story of Diego Garcia is not just about geopolitics and military might. It is also a deeply human story, intertwined with the legacy of colonialism and the painful displacement of the Chagosian people. For generations, the original inhabitants of the atoll have fought for recognition and the right to return to their homeland, their voices often drowned out by the clash of global powers. Now, as the world debates the island's future, the fate of the Chagosians hangs in the balance as well. As world leaders gather in urgent meetings and news outlets broadcast breaking updates, the world watches this high-stakes confrontation unfold. The outcome will not only determine the fate of a remote island, but could also reshape the global balance of power for years to come. In the Indian Ocean, the tides of history are shifting once again, and the world holds its breath to see what comes next. Diego Garcia's strategic value is immense, and its significance in global geopolitics cannot be overstated. This remote atoll, situated in the heart of the Indian Ocean, is far more than just a military outpost. It is a linchpin in the security architecture of the United States and the United Kingdom, serving as a forward operating base that projects power across a vast and volatile region. The island's isolation, once seen as a disadvantage, now provides a secure and discreet location for critical military operations, away from prying eyes and potential threats. Located in the Indian Ocean, Diego Garcia is a key military asset for both the US and UK, acting as a strategic hub that bridges the gap between the Middle East, Africa, and Southeast Asia. Its position allows for rapid response to emerging crises, humanitarian disasters, and military conflicts, making it indispensable for Western interests in the region. The island's location enables the rapid deployment of military assets to crucial regions, including the Persian Gulf, East Africa, and South Asia. This capability makes Diego Garcia a cornerstone of Western power projection, allowing for swift logistical support, aerial refueling, and the launch of long-range missions. Its runways and port facilities can accommodate the largest aircraft and naval vessels, ensuring that forces can be mobilized at a moment's notice. The base, often referred to as the Footprint of Freedom, is equipped with advanced military infrastructure, including state-of-the-art radar installations, satellite communication arrays, and secure command centers. These facilities enable real-time intelligence gathering, surveillance, and coordination of complex operations across multiple theaters. The presence of hardened aircraft shelters, ammunition depots, and fuel storage further enhances the base's resilience and operational readiness. Over the decades, Diego Garcia has played a pivotal role in major military operations, from launching airstrikes in Afghanistan to supporting naval blockades and surveillance missions in the Middle East. Its strategic location has allowed coalition forces to sustain long-term campaigns, provide humanitarian aid, and respond to regional instability with unmatched speed and efficiency. In recent years, with the rise of China as a global power and its expanding influence in the Indian Ocean, Diego Garcia's importance has only grown. The base serves as a counterbalance to Chinese ambitions, supporting freedom of navigation operations and deterring potential aggression in a region that is increasingly contested. Beyond its military might, Diego Garcia is a critical node in the Five Eyes intelligence network, facilitating the collection and sharing of vital information among allied nations. Intelligence analysts stationed here monitor global threats, track adversary movements, and provide early warning of emerging dangers, making the base indispensable for both deterrence and defense. The prospect of relocating such a complex and vital installation is both costly and fraught with logistical challenges, underscoring why the Pentagon considers Diego Garcia's security a top priority. As global tensions rise and the strategic landscape evolves, the continued presence and protection of Diego Garcia remain essential to maintaining stability and safeguarding Western interests in the Indo-Pacific and beyond. Diego Garcia's strategic importance is rooted in the Chagosian people's forced removal. Before becoming a military base, the Chagos archipelago was home to a unique community. In the 1960s, the UK and US decided to build a base, leading to the Chagosians' expulsion. Deported to Mauritius and Seychelles, they faced poverty and injustice. The Chagosians have fought for their right to return and compensation. The UK's legal claim weakened, leading to negotiations with Mauritius, but Chagosians remain divided. Under mounting international and domestic pressure, the United Kingdom entered into complex negotiations with Mauritius to address the long-standing sovereignty dispute over Diego Garcia. For decades, the future of this remote island had been a source of tension, not only between the two nations but also within the broader international community. The talks were marked by intense diplomatic maneuvering, with both sides seeking to protect their interests while responding to calls for justice and self-determination. The world watched closely as diplomats from London and Port Louis met in a series of high-stakes meetings, determined to find a solution that would satisfy both governments and their allies. After months of negotiation, the two countries reached a historic agreement that would transfer sovereignty of Diego Garcia to Mauritius, while simultaneously ensuring the continued operation of the vital military base on the island. This arrangement was seen as a delicate balancing act, designed to address the demands of the international community for decolonization, while also maintaining the strategic interests of the UK and its allies. The signing ceremony was a moment of cautious optimism, with leaders from both nations expressing hope that the agreement would usher in a new era of cooperation and stability in the region. The agreement, officially signed in May 2025, included a landmark provision, a 99-year lease that would allow the UK and its partners to continue operating the military base on Diego Garcia. This long-term lease was intended to provide a sense of stability and predictability for all parties involved, ensuring that the island would remain a key strategic asset for decades to come. The carefully negotiated terms reflected the complexity of the situation, balancing sovereignty, security, and the interests of multiple stakeholders. As part of the deal, the UK agreed to pay Mauritius an annual lease fee, providing a significant financial benefit to the island nation. This arrangement not only secured the continued use of Diego Garcia as a military outpost, but also offered Mauritius a new source of revenue. The financial terms were closely scrutinized by observers, who saw them as a reflection of the island's immense strategic value. For Mauritius, the agreement represented both a diplomatic victory and a practical step toward economic development. The timing of the deal was particularly sensitive, coming at a moment when global politics were in flux. The Trump administration in the United States initially endorsed the agreement, seeing it as a way to maintain stability in the Indian Ocean and strengthen ties with both the UK and Mauritius. However, behind the scenes, there were concerns about how the arrangement might affect regional power dynamics and the interests of other major players. The diplomatic environment was tense, with every move closely watched by allies and rivals alike. Despite the diplomatic breakthrough, the agreement was not without controversy. Critics in the UK, as well as members of the Chagosian community, descendants of the island's original inhabitants, felt deeply excluded from the negotiation process. Many argued that their voices and rights had been sidelined in favor of geopolitical interests. Protests erupted in both countries, with activists demanding greater transparency and justice for those who had been displaced from Diego Garcia decades earlier. Nevertheless, the government of Mauritius celebrated the agreement as a major diplomatic victory. The Prime Minister delivered a rousing speech, declaring the return of Diego Garcia a triumph for national sovereignty and international law. Across the country, there were scenes of celebration, with citizens waving flags and expressing pride in their nation's achievement. The deal also received initial support from key U.S. allies, who saw it as a positive step toward regional stability and cooperation. However, the United Nations voiced strong criticism of the agreement, pointing out that it failed to guarantee the rights of the Chagosian people. Human rights organizations and international observers echoed these concerns, arguing that any lasting solution must include provisions for the return and resettlement of those displaced from Diego Garcia. The debate over the island's future continued to spark passionate discussion at the highest levels of global governance. Initially, the agreement's legitimacy was bolstered by strong U.S. endorsement, lending it significant international weight. But the situation shifted dramatically when President Trump reversed his administration's position, casting doubt on the future of the deal. This sudden change in U.S. policy sent shockwaves through diplomatic circles, raising new questions about the stability of the agreement and the future of Diego Garcia. The story of the UK-Mauritius agreement remains a vivid example of how international diplomacy, national interests, and the voices of affected communities can collide on the world stage. On January 20, 2026, Trump reversed his stance on the Diego Garcia deal, calling it a display of weakness. He accused the UK of endangering U.S. security by leasing the base to Mauritius. Trump's nationalist rhetoric framed the deal as a signal of Western decline. His reversal contradicted his administration's previous endorsement, causing diplomatic confusion. The UK defended the deal as a pragmatic solution, securing the base's future. Trump's reversal turned a settled agreement into a crisis between allies. Trump's attack on the Diego Garcia deal strained US-UK relations. Allies like Australia and India, who supported the deal, faced uncertainty. Mauritius, celebrating sovereignty, now navigates a skeptical US administration. The Chagosian struggle for justice gained renewed attention amid the controversy. Trump's reversal damages U.S. diplomatic credibility, signaling unreliable commitments. The UK's government faces criticism from Trump and domestic opposition. Economically, the UK is committed to lease payments, now politically contentious. Mauritius must manage its new asset amid U.S. skepticism. The controversy affects regional stability, with China and Russia watching closely. The dispute could alter the strategic balance in the Indian Ocean. Trump's reversal on Diego Garcia introduces unpredictability in a vital region. Experts see it as sacrificing long-term stability for short-term gain. Military leaders warn of strategic blunders, emphasizing the need for stability. The US-UK alliance faces a serious test, questioning reliability. Regional actors may strengthen ties with China and India amid uncertainty. The controversy could shift power dynamics in the Indian Ocean. The base's political foundation is damaged, affecting its strategic value. Diego Garcia's saga highlights the interplay of history, law, and military power. The crisis exposes alliance fragility and questions sovereignty and security. The US and UK must repair their alliance and reassure global stability. Mauritius seeks to solidify its victory without conflict. The Chagosian quest for justice gains international attention. The future of Diego Garcia touches on global security, law, and human rights.